All right, enough of that. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Let's see who's in here. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Did y'all see what the ACC did? They went and bent over for Notre Dame again. I don't blame them on this one, though. Talked about this on the Lunch Money show with Uncle Lou. So, with everything that happened with Florida State, Clemson does not have to play a game on December 12th. And I was like, Notre Dame is scheduled to play Wake Forest on December 12th. Well, the ACC said they didn't have to play that game. Now, imagine that. Imagine that. I think that's only fair, though. I saw some SEC fans crying on Twitter about that. Well, the SEC shouldn't have to play on the 12th then either. Alabama shouldn't have to play. Yeah, look, they started 2 weeks later than the ACC did. So I don't want to hear about that. I wouldn't care either way, honestly. Doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. What's up, Clemson Carson? Nate, what is he now? Nate, you're changing your name every week. Nate, the depressed Wolverines fan. Nate, the great don't be late, a.k.a. whatever it is next week or this week. Matt Dummett, gold and blue dude. How you doing, sir? Tiger Paw Craven. Eddie Sewell says, go Gators. Tiger843. Uncle Lou is in the house. Better known as White Tonto.
I am the White Tonto!
Speaking of the White Tonto, they gave up the whole season, didn't they? It started with Clemson. I don't think they're going to play another game as long as the season goes on, and my stream just shut off. Shocker. 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 Let's see, it's about 5 till 7. Everybody refresh your YouTube. I did an update on OBS today. I hope that fixed it, but it didn't. Not surprised. Not surprised at all, actually. Anywho. No, I didn't press any button. You must be new here, sir. This is every stream occurrence over here, okay? 6 minutes in, it shuts off, and that's it. So, yeah, but as far as the rankings go tonight, let's go ahead and pull up. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the my rankings that I put out earlier today. I think I put it out earlier today. I actually recorded it yesterday. I don't think I put it out till this morning, though. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right, so here's this is Pete's top 10. And this is not a projection of what the playoff committee is going to do. It's not a projection or anything like that. This is where I would have them based on everything that's happened throughout the season. It will clearly be different. At least a few of them will be different from what we saw, from what we see with the playoff committee. For instance, Georgia and Miami, we know that they already have Georgia ranked ahead of Miami. That's not going to change this week. Miami didn't play, and Georgia blew South Carolina out. So Georgia will either be 9 or 8 probably tonight. Miami, I don't know where they'll be, 10 or 11. Northwestern lost. Cincinnati didn't play. Who else lost in the top? Somebody else in the top 10 lost. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was somebody in my top 10. Maybe not in the playoff committee's top 10. I think you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stay the same as they were last week. Right? So I don't see any reason for Florida to jump A&M based on the performances we saw last week. Those will probably all stay the same. It might be interesting to see where they're going to put Cincinnati. It will be interesting to see where they put Indiana based on where they had them last week. So we'll see. We will see. In the meantime, we've seen Derek Mason get fired from Vanderbilt. It's looking as if Shane Beamer is going to be the next head coach at South Carolina if he accepts the job, because let's be real here. That's who they want, and it's up to him to say yay or nay to that job. So we'll see about that. The fourth, Carlos says South Carolina is a terrible job right now. I mean, when is South Carolina not a terrible job? I'd like to know that. Trucker Tim, Pete, hey, thanks for the day advice last week on the picks. Well, you're welcome. Uncle Lou wants to know, Miami ahead of Georgia. Have you ever watched a football game? No, I haven't watched any football games. Well, I'll tell you this much, Lou, and anybody else who's inquiring the same question. Do I think that Georgia is worse than Miami? No. If the two played tomorrow, Georgia would be favored and probably would win. The same thing with Florida and A&M. I go off wins and losses. Miami's got 1 loss. Georgia has 2. Miami's losses to the best team in the country at the time, number 1, Clemson. And Florida, even though I think they're better than A&M, lost to A&M, so that has to matter. That's the reason for that. What's up, Jalen Johnson? What time does it come on? I think it's supposed to come on at 7. As far as I know. According to the ESPNs, it comes on at 7. So it should come on in a minute. Bo Weevil says, I would put the Buckeyes at 7 because of a smaller sample of games played. Yeah, see, that's what separates me from everybody else, I guess. Maybe not everybody else, but some people. is that I do take the eye test into consideration. I'm just telling you. Now, here's what I tell people that say that. Name 17. What'd you say? You put them at 7. Name 6 teams better than Ohio State. I'll wait. Go ahead and type it in. Go ahead and type all the 6 teams that are better than Ohio State in the chat, and I'll wait. Can't wait to see what you come up with. All I do is talk about Georgia, and I definitely hate them. That is true. All those things are true. Ohio State might play Saturday. They might not. How many games do they have to miss at this point to be out of the Big Ten championship? 1 more or 2 more? Because if it comes down to Michigan being the deciding factor of whether or not Ohio State can actually play a conference championship game, I would not put it past Michigan to bow out of that game. Yes, I definitely hate Georgia. I hate Georgia. I hate Miami. I hate Indiana. I hate Cincinnati. I hate Florida. I hate Texas A&M. I hate Ohio State. I hate Notre Dame and Bama. That's all the top 10 right there. Anybody else who's 10 who's 11 through 15? I hate them too. And apparently I hate Michigan, even though they're irrelevant. All right, so here it's coming on now. I don't think you're going to see much of a shakeup in the top 10 other than Northwestern lost. They'll be out. That's obvious. I'll be interested to see what they do with Cincinnati. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. SEC Dog says Peete is clearly the Zoe of Tater football. Whatever the hell that means. I'm an equal opportunity hater, sir. What's up, Jordan? What's up, Kevron? Sports Expert 101. How you doing? What's up, Notre Dame fan? Never be a copycat as far as uniforms are concerned. That's lesson number 1. Michigan State, epic fail with those uniforms last week. And I could give a shit about uniforms. I really could. But I like to, Michigan State has a good-looking uniform and a good-looking logo. Why are you going to go mess it up trying to copy Oregon? Didn't look good. A bad look for Michigan State. Hey, Pete, do you think Georgia will be able to beat Clemson the first game next year? Who is it? Is this George or Christian Ballard? We still have this year left. Talking about next year? Yes. The answer to that is yes. Do I think they'll be able to? Yeah. What's up, Shay? Did I see Navy's new uniforms? No, I haven't. My favorite Navy, I don't remember what year it was. It was in a bowl game, though. They've had all kinds of different helmets. It's the helmet with the anchor and the chain on it. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? That was the coolest looking, and it's like multicolored too. It's like split colored, like half of the helmet is one color and the other half of the helmet's like white and navy. That's the best looking helmet, but no, I haven't seen the new uniforms. Playoff predictions for 4020. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and put Rutgers and Kansas in the national championship in the year 4020. I think that's reasonable. And does anybody want to argue with that? Here we go. 25, Louisiana Raging Cajuns. 24, Tulsa. 23. Oregon dropped all the way to 23 with the loss to Oregon State, as they probably should. 22. Washington at 3-0. See, this is the problem. They're punishing teams that haven't played a whole lot. Washington's 3-0. They have them in lower than Southern Cal, lower than a 2-loss Iowa. Anyway, 20 Southern Cal, 19 Iowa, 18 Coastal Carolina, 17 North Carolina, 16 Wisconsin. So Coastal Carolina's moving their way up. Last week, I think they were at 21. They moved up 3 spots. 15 Oklahoma State. So Northwestern dropped from 8 to 14. Northwestern at 14 after the loss. BYU 13. They moved up a spot. Indiana 12. Where do I have Indiana? I have them at 8 in mine. Oklahoma 11. They stayed the same as they did last week. Yes. So 10 will probably still be Miami. There you go. 10 Miami. I have Georgia at 10. They're going to have Georgia at 9. They might not change. Well, they're going to have to change something because they had Northwestern at 8. So what's the change here? Iowa State at 9. After beating Texas. 7-2 Iowa State. And so Georgia's going to be in the top 8. Georgia is going to be in the top 8. Maybe even 7. They might have them ahead of Indiana. This is fascinating, folks. This is fascinating. That would be a big jump that's a big jump for Indiana. Oh, 8's going to be Georgia. Yeah. 7 is going to be Cincy still? Yep. Same as me. And 6 through 1 through 6 is self-explanatory. It's going to be the same as what I have on my screen right here. 6 is going to be Florida. 5 is going to be, if they somehow switch Florida and A&M, that's the only thing that's shocking in here. Everything else will be what I have it on my screen. I guarantee it. It's going to be 6 Florida, A&M 5, Ohio State 4, Clemson 3, Notre Dame 2, and Alabama 1. That's what it's going to be. I don't see any reason why they would change it based on what's happened since last Tuesday. What's up, Slim Shady? Georgia does seem to get some love. I'm trying to think here. So Georgia's played 2 ranked teams and lost to both of them, right? Or have they beat a ranked team? I guess they beat the shit out of Auburn. So that's one. Who else? So they got their doors blown off them by both Alabama and Florida. And those are number 1 and number 6 respectively. So that's not, two top 6 teams, top 5, 6 teams, whatever you want to say. But I don't think there's anybody else that's lost to that many teams that's ranked that high. Well, I know there's not. Alabama 1. Notre Dame 2. Look, man, I've got Georgia in my top 10, so I don't want to hear about it. 3's still going to be Clemson. 3 Clemson. 4 is still going to be Ohio State. Will they get punished? This is what I want to see here. Will they get punished for not playing a game this week? It's possible. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. For Ohio State. That's going to make a bunch of people big mad because they've only played 4 games. They're in the top 4. They didn't play last week. Trust me. Come back to this video tomorrow. 5 a.m. and 6 is going to be Florida. Come back to this video tomorrow and read the comments in the comment section. I promise you. You're going to see a lot of why is Ohio State getting the benefit of the doubt. They've only played 4 games. Why are they at number 4? There is some validity to that. If you're just looking at the amount of games played. However, like in other words, let's put it this way. If you're a Florida fan, and you beat Georgia and your only loss is to A&M, how can you say that Ohio State is better than Florida? That's a legitimate gripe. They play 3 more games than them, 4 more games than them. It's a legitimate gripe. I understand. I think there is definitely some name brand bias, and not that Florida's not a big name brand, but Florida's never made the playoffs before. Ohio State has several times and has won a national championship in the playoff era, and they're Ohio State. So there definitely is some bias there. Also, they have a win over a one-loss Indiana team. I don't know. You know what? That's an interesting matchup. If you were going to, if this weekend Florida was going to play against Ohio State, who would you have favored in that game? First of all, who would Vegas have favored in the game, and who do you think would win it? That would be a good game. That would be a really good game. Dustin says Georgia would spank the Buckeyes. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Daniels is not great, says Luke Walker. Well, if you're talking about Georgia having a not great quarterback, they came one play away from winning a national championship with a not great quarterback. So, I mean, it's a team sport. Yes, having a great quarterback definitely helps, but it's not the end-all, be-all. And Daniels is better than Fromm, in my opinion, from the little bit I've seen of him. SEC Dog says Florida would be favored versus Ohio State. I don't believe that. I think it would probably be a low spread. When I say low, I mean a point, maybe even a pick 'em. I would love to see that matchup. We might get to see it. It's possible. SA says I'd favor Florida over Ohio State. A lot of people not giving Ohio State any love. Raptor says how's Iowa 19? Snake says y'all just hate Ohio State. Y'all a bunch of Buckeye haters. Haters. Dustin says Ohio State's secondary is trash. They are suspect. Of course, I can't say anything. Clemson fan here. Not much of a difference between the two. Although this past weekend, of course, it was against Pitt, so it is what it is. But Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm going to go ahead and make a bold prediction here before I get off. And this is very bold, by the way. Very bold. And this has nothing to do with Ohio State as a team. It has to do with the coronavirus year and the fact that I think that unless the Big Ten changes the way they do things, the rules that they set for their own conference this year, I'm not sure Ohio State's going to make the playoffs this year, even if they deserve to. Now, that's my bold prediction. I don't think Ohio State's going to make the playoffs this year. The caveat to that is, I hope that they do. Not only do I hope that they make it, I hope they face off against Clemson. I hope Clemson wins the ACC championship, gets into the playoffs as a one-loss ACC champion, and faces off against Ohio State in the first round of the playoffs. So if you're an Ohio State fan out there and you're saying, oh, this guy doesn't want Ohio State to make the playoffs, I do want you to make the playoffs. I hope that you do. And I hope you face Clemson. I think Clemson would beat Ohio State this year. I really do. Not by a lot, but I think Clemson's better than Ohio State in 2020. Big Ten really trying to screw over the Buckeyes. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Crimson Brave wants Alabama versus Clemson. You might get your wish. Of course, you have Notre Dame sitting there like, what about us? Right? I mean, they are definitely a legit team. There's no doubt about it. They might have something to say about that. So, what's up, Clemson for life? No Iowa State in the top 10. What were they ranked? 11, I think. So they're close. I mean, they were a 2-loss team. Anywho. All right, guys. I just wanted to hop on for the ranking show. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I'll be back on tomorrow night at 10 p.m. for the call-in show. And I do have some for the next 4 call-in shows. So this Wednesday, this Friday, and then next Wednesday and next Friday, I have a giveaway. So make sure you tune in for that. I'm going to be giving away some stuff. Everybody likes free shit, right? All right, guys. I'll see you then. Have a great day. Pigskin Pete is checking out.